We've all been there, right? You're faced with a choice. Take the quick, easy payday or do the right thing, even when it's going to hurt. Well, today we're going to dig into why that single decision can define not just your business, but pretty much your entire life.
And look, this isn't just some hypothetical question. This is the exact choice a young businessman had to make. His story is this incredible lesson in what real success is made of, and honestly, it might just change how you think about your next big decision.
So let's meet our guy, Marcus Hayes. He's a 28-year-old mechanic, and he poured everything he had into his own small engine repair shop. His whole motto was simple: honest repairs, fair prices, quality work. And his customers, they loved him for it. But there was one huge glaring problem. Honesty wasn't paying the bills.
Can you just imagine the weight on his shoulders? He's working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, hands covered in grease, and he's just barely scraping by. Every single month, the bills are piling up. The loan, the rent, the suppliers. And to make it worse, he sees his competitors, the ones with the flashy signs, getting rich by cutting the very corners he refuses to touch.
This is the question that kept him up at night. He's staring at the ceiling thinking, did I build my business on integrity, or am I just clinging to a luxury I simply can't afford right now? You start to wonder if your principles are a foundation, or just dead weight dragging you down.
And then, one morning, right when he's at his lowest point, temptation literally rolls up in a shiny black Mercedes. A wealthy property owner named Richard Donovan barges in. He's got a huge emergency. His commercial generator is down, his tenants are screaming, and he needs a fix, like yesterday. This was it. This was the moment of truth.
So Marcus does what Marcus does best. He gives it a thorough, honest diagnosis. And the news isn't good. The motor is shot, the wiring's fried. This is not a quick fix. To do it right, the only way he knows how, it's going to take 4 to 5 days for a complete rebuild. He needs to replace parts, test everything, and make sure it won't fail again. But Richard Donovan doesn't care about doing it right. He doesn't have 4 days. He's selling the property soon and just needs the thing running for a few more weeks. And for this temporary, dishonest patch job, he offers Marcus this: $2,000 in cash. Enough money to make all his problems disappear, just like that. So there it is, clear as day, 2 paths. The easy wrong, just patch it up, grab the $2,000, and let the next guy deal with the inevitable breakdown. Or the hard right, do the job properly, take the full 5 days, charge his normal fair price, and almost certainly lose the job and the money he desperately needs.
And in that moment, with all that pressure, with the overdue bills screaming in his head, Marcus makes his choice. He looks at that life-changing money, and he says no. He tells Donovan he can't do it, and Donovan, absolutely furious, calls him a fool and storms out. Marcus is just left there, alone in his shop, shaking, wondering if he'd just made the biggest mistake of his life.
The next day, he's just exhausted and riddled with doubt. And then, an old farmer named Frank Morrison, one of his regular customers, stops by. He can see something's wrong, so Frank decides to share a little wisdom he learned over 50 years of farming, a lesson about the invisible currency that really powers a business. And what Frank says is just brilliant. He calls it the reputation bank. He says every single time you do the right thing, every time you're honest, you're making a deposit. It's an account you can't see, but it pays the highest interest of all. Frank's wisdom really boils down to 3 simple rules. 1. Your reputation is worth more than your money. Always. Protect it like your life depends on it. 2. Sacrificing a little now to build trust for the long haul, that is always the right trade. And 3, and this is a big one, the right people will find you and pay for your integrity. The ones who don't, they were never your customers to begin with. Hearing this gave Marcus a renewed sense of purpose. Now, there wasn't some immediate reward. The next 2 weeks were just as hard as ever. But then, slowly but surely, the deposits he'd been making in his reputation bank started to pay some serious dividends.
It started small. Frank told someone the story and they came in. But that person told a few more. Within a month, he had 5 new commercial clients. And then, get this, 12 weeks later, Richard Donovan himself walks back in, head held low. Turns out the cheap fix he got elsewhere failed spectacularly. The ripple effect was just undeniable.
Look at this. In just 6 months. 6 months. By choosing his reputation over a single payday, Marcus tripled his revenue. And he didn't do it by raising his prices. He did it by rising the level of trust in his community. The right people started flocking to him, and he actually had to hire his first employee to keep up.
And here is the ultimate payoff. Richard Donovan, the very same guy who called him a fool, was so impressed by his integrity that he moved the repair business for all 12 of his commercial properties to Marcus. That single no turned into his biggest and most loyal account. Incredible.
Okay, so great story, but what does it mean for us, right? This isn't just about fixing generators. It's about how we operate every single day. So let's break down this reputation bank idea and see how you can manage your own account.
Think of it this way. It's simple. Every promise you keep, ching, that's a deposit. Every time you tell the truth, even when it's hard, deposit. Admitting a mistake, huge deposit. But every corner you cut, every time you overcharge or compromise your values for quick cash, those are massive withdrawals, and they can drain your account in an instant. And you really, really want to avoid making withdrawals, because the math here is absolutely brutal. Studies show it can take up to 12 positive experiences just to make up for one single negative one. Think about that. One bad decision can wipe out years of hard work. The cost of a withdrawal is always so much higher than the value of a deposit.
So, it all comes down to a choice. Which one are you? Are you a sprinter just chasing today's transaction at any cost? Or are you a marathon runner, focused on building trust that lasts a lifetime? Now, the sprinters might get a head start, but the marathon runners, they're the ones who build something that truly endures.
So how do you actually do it? Here's a quick 3-step plan. First, define your non-negotiables. Literally write down the 3 values you will never ever compromise on. Second, make reputation your key metric. After every big decision, ask yourself, was that a deposit or a withdrawal? And third, always play the long game. Remember that quick money almost always has a hidden cost, and that cost is your future.
This last piece of wisdom from Frank just says it all, doesn't it? You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a job and find a new one. But if you lose your reputation, you might never get it back. It is your most valuable asset, and you are its only protector.
So I'll just leave you with this. Every single day, you're faced with choices, big ones, small ones, and they're all deposits or withdrawals. It's always the easy wrong versus the hard right. So think about the choice you might have to make tomorrow, or maybe even later today. What decision will you make that invests in the person you actually want to be? Your reputation is watching. Go make it proud.